Hi, boys and girls. This is Ms. Kathy. I'm so happy you've joined me today for another story just for you. Chapter 2. Who is Charles Perkins? "What is that doing out here?" exclaimed Maria. There at the top of the small sand dune was a group of gravestones surrounded by a low iron fence. Several scrubby pine trees grew in and around the area. "I don't know," Chris said, "but it looks like it's been here forever." He opened the gate and walked over to one of the gravestones. Stooping down to take a closer look, he rubbed away some of the moss and dirt with his hand. It said, "Dora Ann Simpson, beloved daughter, 1882 to 1893. Rest in peace." Maria quickly subtracted the two dates in her head. "She was only 11 when she died," Maria said softly. She knelt beside another gravestone. "Henry Robert Simpson, 1844 to 1893, she read. "That must have been Dora's father. And this one was her mother," she added after reading the words on a nearby headstone. Quietly, Chris and Maria continued to explore the graveyard, stopping to read the faint words carved into the old headstones. "So many in one family died around the same time," Chris said. "I wonder why. And why are they buried on top of a sand dune?" "I'm not sure," said Maria, "but I can guess. Back in the old days, many families had their own graveyards by their houses. Maybe there used to be a home near here, but now people have forgotten about it." "And it looks like people have forgotten about this place too," added Chris, as he continued on up the sand dune. "Everything is overgrown and uncared for except— Maria, come here!" Maria hurried over to where Chris was standing. There, a little farther up the hill, was one gravestone. Some weeds, recently pulled, were piled to one side. "Charles Archibald Perkins, 1862 to 1907, Chris read from the tombstone. "Someone hasn't forgotten about him." Maria pointed. "And look, read what else it says. 'When safely placed upon the shore, my life was changed forevermore.' I wonder what that's all about, and who would be cleaning up his grave now?" "It's a mystery, Maria," Chris said excitedly. "I wonder if there are any more clues around here." "There might be, but look at the time," said Maria, glancing at her watch. "We'd better get back to the yurt before Mom and Dad start wondering where we are." "Okay," said Chris. "I'm starting to get hungry." "That wouldn't be anything new," teased Maria as they headed back down the path. "I wonder who Charles Perkins was, and I'd like to learn more about this graveyard." "We could talk to the park rangers," Chris suggested. "They might know something." "Maybe," said Maria, "but let's go back to our yurt now." "But there's something I'd like to know," said Chris. "What's that?" asked Maria. "Why isn't there a signpost at the trail? Don't you think the rangers know about the graveyard?" "I don't know," answered Maria. "It's not on the map we got when we came in. But how could they not know?" When they got to the paved road, Chris and Maria stopped to empty the sand out of their shoes. As they continued walking along the road, they didn't notice a young man standing off to one side. When Chris and Maria passed by, he turned and headed up the sandy trail they'd just come down. He continued up the trail until he reached the top of the sand dune. Removing his knapsack, he took out a small trowel and continued the cleanup job he'd started the day before around Charles Perkins's grave.
The story you've heard today is a chapter of the Shoebox Kids, Book 12, Mystery of the Abandoned Lighthouse, written by Suzanne Grant Perdue and Grant Perdue, edited and created by Jerry D. Thomas, and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.